Hey there again, fellow Dice Masters. This is Diane, and welcome back to DM Dice Masters. For this video, I'd like to give you a recap of the event that we held the other day at my local comic shop, Augusta Book Exchange. Our TO has been experimenting with a number of different formats and themes lately, and so for this event, he came up with the idea where everyone has to draft 12 packs from the set of their choice, and they have to make a team from that. So, best of luck to you. Take those lemons and make lemonade. When I first heard of the idea, I have to admit I was a little bit skeptical, thinking that, okay, people are going to have one die for every character. This is going to be really nutty. What if everyone gets only high-cost characters and so on? But I was quite pleased with how everyone came together, took, what seemed like would just be chaos and got really creative with it. Most of the sets were represented pretty well for the event, which I really liked. Myself and a few other people drafted the Civil War set, the most current one. Some people drafted the Uncanny X-Men. We had a couple people that drafted Justice League, and a couple people that drafted Age of Ultron. So there was a nice mixture there. So this is my team for the event. I ended up going with the Civil War set because it seemed like it had a pretty good distribution of low-cost characters, and I was thinking that was going to be really important for this event, to try to get as many lower-cost characters as I could. It ended up working out pretty well. I did get a couple pretty key characters. I got the Justice New Warrior. He's the one that gets +2 attack if you have 2 or more sidekicks in your field zone. I ended up getting Falcon Aviary. He's nice because he punishes my opponent by giving me a life if my opponent wants to field any sidekicks. So that kind of makes them think twice about that. Then I got Rescue Stark's Equal. That's the one that if you roll her die and it comes up shields, you get a life. So I was like, well, I'll throw her in there because I'm thinking I'm going to take a lot of punishment in this tournament, so let me try to get some life gain. And she was a low-cost character, so I didn't really mind that. I picked Wasp, America's newest hero, because I was like, she has fast, so I was hoping, maybe that would help me out in a couple situations. And then I was lucky enough to pull Punisher, Unlikely Ally. He's the one that has the Intimidate. I only had one of his dice, but it was nice. It did help me out in a number of situations where it removed a potential blocker from my opponent's field, and then I was able to kind of push through one of my characters, like Justice, in for a nice little punch to the face. And I did draft, or pull, I should say, a super rare. I got Iron Man Extremis, and lucky for me, it was the one super rare I needed. So that was a bonus there. So for me, I felt like, a winner for the night there. My first match for the evening was with Matthew. He was new to our group, so it was really nice to get to meet him. He was a really nice fella and a really good player. My first thoughts when I sat down and I saw his team were, crap. Right off the bat, I saw that he had Aquaman, the one that discounts other Justice League characters. Saw Firestorm, Jason and Ronnie, and Cheetah Cursed Archaeologist. So I was just like, okay, I'm really up for a World of Hurt. During our matchup, the combination of Punisher, Justice, and Rescue really helped me in this game. It was a pretty close match. Rescue helped me kind of buy some time a little bit and heal up after the burn damage from Cheetah and Firestorm. Punisher was able to help me intimidate his characters to try to push through some of my characters for damage, and then of course Justice getting his little buff there, that helped me out a good bit as well. So all in all, a really good match. Again, it came down really close. I was just able to squeak by with the win on that one. My second match for the evening was with Gloria. She's a newer player, but every time she plays, she keeps getting better and better. She ended up drafting the Age of Ultron set, and she had a couple nice little tools in her arsenal there. Once again, my bread and butter for this matchup was Justice and Punisher. Just kept whittling her down that way and was able to get the win that way. Game 3 for the evening was with Barry. He's also a new addition to our group. He ended up drafting the Justice League set. He was fully stocked up on Black Manta, had Firestorm, Jason, and Ronnie. He was able to get several of the Bolt characters to kind of complement that. Blue Beetle to go ahead and complement Black Manta. All around just an amazing team that he put together. For this match, I did end up winning. And I don't feel very good about that. I had no reason to win this match. I was dead to rights. He had me. He had a really good synergy. He was playing everything right. And for some reason, the dice gods were just not in his favor that evening. I swear, I think he only rolled one of the 4 Black Manta dice on a character face once that entire evening. My final match for the evening was with Ketch. Unfortunately, I guess in my excitement, I did not get a photo of his team, so I'm kind of going off of memory here. He did end up selecting packs from the Uncanny X-Men set, and if I remember correctly, he did have the low-cost Ant-Man and Falcon, and the Pyro, the one that deals damage if you block him, as well as he had a little bit of control with Toad tongue lashing there. This match ended up playing out kind of like a chess match. I ended up getting some early damage in, but he was really able to utilize those lower cost characters to build up his wall. And his bread and butter for the evening was the basic action, the front line from the Civil War set. He was able to use that global on that basic action to really hurt me. He had a lot of fist at his disposal, and his wall kind of grew up rather quickly. So every time he just would kind of threaten me, hey, if you want to block, you're going to have to pay a life. And sometimes he wouldn't even attack. He would just kind of, bait me to see what I would do, and it just kept taking my life down. The game was very close, but I just inched out with a win on that one. All in all, the event was a great success. We had our biggest turnout for our scene yet. We had 12 players. We have lots of new people at our venue, so it's really nice to really see them getting into all the sets and experimenting and trying new things. So that's a recap of our most recent event. Let me know if you guys ever try anything like this, and let me know how it turns out. So until next time, this is Diane. You've been watching DM Dice Masters. Take care.